Hello everyone, welcome to this session on international organizations of PT365. As I have promised you, I will be doing this in just 1 or 2 days. Today and tomorrow we'll be uploading all the videos associated with this. And second, most importantly, map based, I will show separately. Okay, so for example, G20, which countries are part of it? Right, when you are talking about Israel Palestine issue, where exactly it is, map based, I will show you maps and I will teach you that. Okay, that will be a separate video, but today I am going to teach you with the help of PT365. And here let me tell you, unlike polity, unlike environment also, for IR most of the people do not have proper clarity. So I will be spending some time in explaining you these aspects so that anything additional points asked will be easy for you to answer. Okay, so guys, the first basic thing is about United Nations. Okay, 49th group of G7 summit, India questioned the United Nations ability to effectively prevent conflicts. Remember guys, India is planning to become member of United Nations Security Council, UNSC, and India has been telling that you should allow UNSC to extend. You should include new members to the grouping. And India has proposed that the grouping should be permanent members must be 10, non-permanent members must be 15. As of today, permanent members are 5 and non-permanent members are 10. So India is telling, make permanent members as 10 and non-permanent members as 15, so that it would be 25. And India argues that at the time when United Nations was formed, there were only around 50 countries. Today there are 193 countries. So for 50 countries, we had 5 permanent and 10 non-permanent. Now for 193 countries, you should obviously have more so that representation would be better. And when United Nations is not responding positively to these aspects, India is trying to say that in case of COVID, United Nations failed to take the decision. When it came to Taliban issue, when it came to Russia-Ukraine war, what is the efficacy of United Nations today? Countries are discussing more points in G7. Countries are discussing more points in G77. Countries are discussing more points in G20. So we have alternative organizations which is becoming increasingly important for the world than United Nations. So United Nations, if it should not lose its preference, that the world, if it has to consider it seriously, then it should obviously increase its number of seats. Okay, so that is one important aspect. Anything can be asked about United Nations, but this is very, very important. UNESCO, you see, UNESCO actually recognized Palestine as a state. And as UNESCO recognized Palestine as a state, UNESCO, UNICEF, these organizations, they set Palestine as a state. And United States said that if you agree Palestine as a state, we will stop funding you. And UNESCO was not given money by US. This was asked in UPSC mains as well. But now US has joined back UNESCO by paying $600 million. And recently you might have heard there was an issue that whether UNESCO, right, should be given that right to decide which country exists and which country doesn't. And most importantly, Palestine is a state. United Nations recently voted on that. All countries supported Palestine rather than supporting Israel. So this is one tricky situation where India also supported Palestine. Let's not get into the politics of it at this stage, but I just want you to know that UNESCO is very, very important. See guys, its headquarters is at Paris, France. It is one of the specialized agencies of United Nations, established in 1945. It was not League of Nations. Membership 194 countries and 12 associate members. Right? That is more than enough, guys. UNESCO heritage sites and all, you are aware. Don't get into that. Okay. Then this is very, very important, guys. United Nations peacekeeping. See guys, there is something called as Department of Peacekeeping Operations. Okay. Under United Nations, there is something called as Department of Peacekeeping Operations. And under this, there is UN Peacekeeping Forces, UNPKF they normally call. And in 2022, it got Dag Hammarskjöld Medal. I don't know how you pronounce it. And guys, 75th anniversary. So it's important, guys. Okay. Now, when I look at this particular thing, when was it created? 1992. Okay. And DPO was formed in 1948. What does it do? It tries to prevent wars between the countries. It doesn't have the right to shoot, but it has a right to stop people from shooting. In between India and Pakistan also, UN peacekeeping forces were present and they ensured that the war doesn't occur. And only recently, after Modi government came, UN peacekeeping forces were sent. Okay, you see, India is third largest troop contributor. First country to contribute to the trust fund on sexual exploitation. First country to deploy an all-woman contingent. This is very, very important, guys. Cop Shakti Devi of the Jammu Kashmir Police deployed in Afghanistan awarded International Female Police Peacekeeper Award. Very, very important, guys. This can be asked. So please read that specific thing once. Nothing more than that. This is very, very important. UN Commission on International Trade Law. Many people get confused between WTO and this. Okay. India hosted inaugural UNCITRAL South Asia Conference. Okay. Anything which is hosted by India definitely is important. Okay. And when was it established? 1966. And what is it looking into? Unification of law of international trade. So there are so many laws with respect to international trade, and all this needs to be brought under one aspect, and that is being done under this specific thing. Okay. Now, it is not part of WTO. It is different. WTO basically looks at country to country issues, state to state issues. Which one? WTO. But when you look at UNCITRAL, it is for private parties. So let us say two companies are doing trade, and if anything wrong happens, at that point of time UNCITRAL will come. Whereas WTO is at country level. Okay, country level. This is private level. Okay, then this Global Crisis Response Group. India has joined this particular group. Okay. Now, the GCRG was set up by UN Secretary General in 2022 to address urgent problems like food security, energy and finance. Right? And India is also part of this. See, yes, India is elected for United Nations Statistical Commission for a 4-year term. Where is it present? New York. Okay, it was established in 1947 and it is the highest body of global statistical system, bringing together chief statisticians from member states from around the world. It consists of 24 member countries of UN elected by UNESCO on the basis of an equitable geographical distribution. Next case. United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, UNCTAD. Okay, you see this. It has released a report. Okay, what is the report name that you see? Trade and Development Report 2023 is released by whom? Okay, UNCTAD. That's enough. This is very important, guys. 5th World Coffee Conference by International Coffee Organization was hosted in India. Very important. Okay. And what can be the question? From geography they may ask you, which are coffee growing areas in India? Okay. So if you look at coffee growing area, coffee is a tropical crop. First point. Coffee is a tropical crop. That means it requires temperature greater than 18 degrees Celsius. But coffee doesn't like direct sunshine. So it will be present where shade is there, shadow is there. Okay. So if you take mountain like this, okay, and if you are the sun, coffee will grow on the shadow region. Okay. So if you are the sun, coffee will grow behind. And then it requires significantly high rainfall. Okay, high temperature, shadow, high rainfall. In India, right, in India, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu region, some parts of Kerala, coffee is grown. Okay, apart from this, in Eastern Ghats, especially Andhra Pradesh, Odisha border, Araku Valley region, coffee is grown. Okay, so these are the areas where coffee is grown in India, and that conference has occurred in India. So they may not ask you about coffee organization, but they may ask you which are the areas where coffee is grown in India. Okay, see, coffee established in 1963. Okay, it represents 93% of world coffee production and 63% of world consumption. This is important, guys. 49 members are there, 42 exporting and 7 importing. India is an exporting member. That's it. Okay, guys, this is very important, guys. L69 grouping. Okay, now this grouping asks for reforms in United Nations Security Council. It is a group of developing countries from Africa. You see, Africa, Latin America, Caribbean, means Central America, Asia and the Pacific. And what is their main intention? Desire to achieve comprehensive reform of United Nations Security Council. Okay, India is a leading member of L69. Very important. Okay, this is very important. Guys, G20, you know that there will be a question, but what is the question is where we are all stuck. Trust me, this year I won't be surprised if you get 10 to 15 questions on international relations alone, because so many events occurred in India. So many organizations had meeting in India. So because of that, I won't be surprised if you say that sir, we got around 10 to 15 questions in international relations this year. Okay, and all state services, there is possibility if there is a term current affairs, this will be definitely asked. Okay, because before that, I know you won't listen to me. That's the reason I'm telling you this. See, Telegram channel, at Sandeep underscore Mahajan. Please join. I will be giving you other aspects as well which are important for you, and please spread it across your friends as well. Yes, about G20 countries, how to remember, I'll do in the maps, but let us see now what are all the important factors that you need to remember. What is it? Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, this can be asked. One earth, one family, one future, this can be asked. I'm telling you, very, very important. This can be asked. Now, there are certain things given below. I'll show you that. You see here. Okay, as you're aware, African Union became member of G20. Okay, very, very significant thing is. So where is the headquarters of African Union? Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Here you have African Union. Genesis was launched in 2002 as a successor organization of African Unity. Year is very, very important, guys. 2002. Many people get confused here if they give statements like it was formed in 1950s. Okay, 2002. Members, 55 members, that makes up the countries of African continent. Almost all the countries are part of African Union. It is a second regional organization to become a permanent member of G20. The first one was European Union. See, because G20 has 19 countries plus European Union and plus African Union. And African Union has suspended Niger, okay, from all its activities due to military coup. Okay, recently UPSC has started asking in which of the following countries coup was seen. Niger. Okay, India is also engaged with two other important groups of Africa, AFCFTA, okay, Africa Free Trade Agreement, and Southern Africa Customs Union. See, Southern Africa Customs Union is South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, Lesotho, Eswatini. Okay, these are 5 countries which are part of SACU, and India is planning to have free trade agreement with SACU. Okay, but for me this year this is not important. These are very, very important, guys. How many member countries? 55 member countries. 2002. There is a forum summit called India Africa Forum Summit, which was established in 2018, 2018. Okay. Now, what is this G20? Okay. Actually, there was something called G7. G7 was there. Okay. Now, in 1999, there was Asian financial crisis where lot of Southeast Asian countries, Korea, Japan, many of these were significantly affected. It was at this point of time finance ministers and central bank governors of almost top 20 countries who were economically richer were called and said, you all come, let us have a meeting. And that actually included finance ministers and central bank governors. But later, heads of the states also started coming. And after 2008 economic crisis, heads of the state also started coming. Okay, because G7 is not capable of dealing with economic crisis by itself. Okay, India is a founding member. 85% of global GDP is represented by top 20 countries. 75% of the global trade is part of this, and it represents 2/3 of world population. Now, India was a president, correct? And whenever there is presidency, it is actually rotating presidency. That is, every country will chair it. one after the other. And the presidency is always supported by Troika. Troika basically means see, today's president, India. Okay. Previous president, Indonesia. Next president, Brazil. In 2023, Troika was India, Indonesia, Brazil. Now next who will be there? Brazil will be current. Past will be India. South Africa will be next. Okay. Consists of two parallel tracks, finance track and the Sherpa track. Remember, earlier it was mostly into finance, now they are into many other aspects. Okay. Today G20 actually talks about almost all the world issues. This is very, very important. Does not have any permanent secretariat or staff. Okay, that is very, very important. See, address financial crisis such as global financial crisis, Eurozone crisis, USD 10 trillion rescue package for COVID-19 pandemic, US-China trade truce occurred in 2018 and it has brought tax reforms. Now, as it occurred in India, every moment it was actually monitored by our officers. And Indian officers, when they are present in anything and if they are looking after that closely, there is very high possibility that UPSC will ask a question on that particular issue. Okay, why? Because serious IAS officers are the one who will be actively engaged and they are the one who also suggest certain questions indirectly. So if you are in Delhi, if you observe the news that is occurring in Delhi regularly, you get a very fair idea of which are the questions which are going to come. That's why many of the people say, if you read Hindu newspaper, read Delhi edition, so that you will get more number of questions compared to others. Anyways, Global Biofuel Alliance. See guys, Nitin Gadkari has told multiple times that we are going for increasing biofuel, right? It may be from food, right, like sugarcane and all. It may be from plants, non-edible plants like Jatropha, Pongamia, right? You also have biofuels coming from algae, or you can also go for microorganism modification and introduce biofuel. And India is talking about Global Biofuel Alliance, similar to Solar Alliance. Okay, what is the main intention here? It will try to reduce pollution, at the same time alternative fuel. Okay, and this will definitely help farmers. If farmers can give the waste from agriculture and if it can be used for biofuel, it is another source of income for farmers. Okay, it was launched by India along with the leaders of Singapore, Bangladesh, Italy, USA, Brazil, Argentina, Mauritius and UAE. Okay, the alliance will act as a central repository of knowledge where every country will give its own expertise in biofuel and that will be used by other countries as well. Okay, benefits of GBA for India. India already have biofuel initiatives. People who are asking for schemes, PM Jeevan Yojana, Satat Yojana, Govardhan scheme. You should do these three. Contribute to increasing farmers' income and create new jobs. Reduce oil dependency. Okay, 20% ethanol blending in petrol by 2025-26. This is India's target. Okay, who are the members who were there? See guys, 4 G20 invitee countries. Please know this guys. We had invited 4 countries: Bangladesh, Singapore, Mauritius, UAE. Okay. Now, again in another session I will be talking about IMEC, but now I want you to know some factual data, please. See this. Suez Canal was stuck recently. You might have heard a ship got stuck here and there is a fear that China is trying to control this particular part called Djibouti. Okay, to ensure we have an alternative route than depending on Suez Canal, we are planning for India, Middle East, Europe economic corridor. India, Middle East, Europe economic corridor. Now, according to this corridor, we are going to start in Mumbai. Through sea route, we will be going to Middle East. Okay, and in Middle East, the place is UAE. The country is UAE. Jabal Ali is the place. Al Guwaifat. Okay, Harat, Riyadh, Al Haditha. Okay, then we go to Jordan. India, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Jordan. After Jordan, we will be going to Israel. Israel, Haifa, very important. And then we are going to Greece, Piraeus. I hope you are aware, Greece Prime Minister also visited India. So this is very, very important. Remember, it is not to counter. The moment you see the term, it is aimed at countering Belt and Road Initiative, you may say yes, no. If there is a option which says it is trying to avoid Suez Canal, okay, it is trying to avoid Suez Canal and go to Europe, then yes, that option is correct. Anything associated with Suez Canal, you need to choose that particular option. Nothing to do with China here, guys. Don't get over motivated that okay, like we are going to counter China and all. Even if we counter, we won't write like this. MOU to establish IMEC, India, US, Saudi Arabia, European Union, UAE, France, Germany, Italy, because from Haifa we have plans to go to many other countries. It will consist of both the rail, road, ship to rail and road transport networks. It is divided into two parts, Eastern Corridor, Northern Corridor. Eastern Corridor connects India to Arabian Gulf, Northern Corridor from Arabian Gulf to Europe. That's why it's IMEC, India, Middle East, Europe. See, the project forms part of partnership for global infrastructure and investment. Okay, PJII was announced in 2021 during the G7 summit in the UK and is seen as a counter to China's Belt and Road Initiative. Other projects under PGII, Trans-African Corridor. Please understand, even though this is giving you to counter China's Belt and Road Initiative, okay, when America went, America openly told that we are not going for having IMEC to counter BRI. If you open IMEC by G20 separately and check, okay, G20 IMEC you go separately and check, there it is very clearly mentioned that it is to move away from Suez Canal. Okay, please guys, don't get stuck. UPSC will never use such harsh languages against another country, so have clarity. Okay, yes, normally we say global north, global south. Okay, north means developed countries, south means developing and least developed countries. These are normally separated by Brant line. You see, Mexico, South America, Africa, Asia, okay, Asia, Polynesia, they all come under what? Global south. Canada, US, Europe, Russia, Australia, New Zealand, they come under global north. Australia, New Zealand is global north because they are developed countries. This line, Brent line, separates it. So Australia and New Zealand is south, yes, but people who are ruling it is from north. That is the reason they normally divided it. The report said about north and south. That's why it's very, very important for you. Then G20 Empower. Okay, G20 Alliance for Empowerment and Progression of Women's Economic Representation is an alliance between government and private sector which is aiming at accelerating women's leadership and empowerment in the private sector. Yes, millets, I'm telling you again and again, millets is very, very important. Two things, let me quickly tell you. Millets, International Year of Millets 2023. Prime Minister also told millets has to be consumed. Now geographically, let us see where millets are normally grown. Okay, millets is mostly a tropical crop. Okay, millets mostly tropical crop, and it is poor man's most important food. It is grown in three specific areas. Okay, dry areas, semi-arid areas and arid areas. Remember, moist and wet, normally millets are not grown or they won't grow. Okay, which are the three areas? Dry, semi-arid and arid. In these areas we normally observe millet cultivation and mostly rainfall below 75 centimeter. Okay, in India we have ragi, jowar, bajra. Ragi, jowar, bajra. You see, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, southern Karnataka. Please understand, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, southern Karnataka is going to have ragi more. Okay, North Karnataka, Telangana, right? North Karnataka, Telangana and Maharashtra. You see guys, Tamil Nadu, South Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh. I repeat, Tamil Nadu, South Karnataka, Southern Andhra Pradesh, ragi. Above, Telangana, North Karnataka, Maharashtra, right? Jowar. Above that, like above Vindhyas and Satpuras, you will have Bajra. That is Bundelkhand region, Malwa Plateau region. You will have what? Bajra. I repeat, ragi, jowar, bajra. Tamil Nadu, South Karnataka, Southern Andhra Pradesh. You will have ragi growing. Above that, jowar. Above that, bajra. Gujarat, Rajasthan, all the three. Okay, in the world, let me say, Savanna region, Sahara region, okay, Savanna, wherever you have grasslands. So let us see which are the area. North America, Mexican Savanna, okay. South America, Campos and Llanos, okay. Africa, Savanna region. India, Indian Savanna, which is the region in between Vindhyas and Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. Deccan Plateau region, that triangular shape is called Indian Savanna. Australian Savanna. These are the areas where millets can be cultivated. Apart from this, deserts. North America, Sonoran Desert. South America, Atacama Desert. Africa, Namib Desert. Okay, India, Rajasthan, Thar Desert. Australia, West Australian Desert, or Victorian Desert, Simpson Desert, Sandy Desert. These are the areas where you normally have millets. So guys, millets are grown in dry, semi-arid and arid. 100% there can be a question on millets. Now let us see this. Maharishi, meeting of agricultural chief scientists on sustainable agriculture and food system for healthy people and planet. Supported launching of Maharishi. Its secretariat will be housed at Indian Institute of Millets Research, IIMR, Hyderabad. Very important. With technical support from ICRISAT. It will focus on research and awareness about agro-biodiversity, food security, aligning with International Year of Millets 2023. So there is no doubt millets will be as geography. I'm just talking here. Maps I'll try to show this. As I told you, map based, again I will show and tell you this particular aspect. Okay. Global Initiative on Digital Health. World Health Organization and G20 started talking about Global Initiative on Digital Health. Okay. And that is being talked in this. Okay guys. because these are one of the most important aspects within this. Okay, now you have BIMSTEC and others. Okay, so this I'll do in the next video, and the next video will also be uploaded within few hours, guys. Fine, thank you. Yes, please do subscribe and join Telegram channel for other issues, guys. Thank you.